What's going on, guys? So today we have the unboxing and the review, I guess, a full tour of the LG EnV2 smartphone. It's not a smartphone, it's a regular phone. Too used to saying that. So this phone was by request from one of our loyal fans. This is not a phone that's been near and dear to my heart. I had this in the past when it came out, but this was a request by one of our loyal fans and followers of the channel. That follower is Chelsea, who also happens to be my girlfriend, and so she has to be a loyal follower of the channel. She doesn't really get a choice in the matter because she gets videos sent to her, made to watch and made to like, you know, everything on the channel. So this was her favorite phone back in the day. I believe this thing came out March of 2008. But when we get into it, I just want to do the unboxing and then we'll come back and take a look at it. But I believe this was in 2008 this phone came out, and it's a VCast messaging phone by LG. So it's a Verizon wireless. So right here you get a little preview, okay? And let's get into it and let's open it up. Now I didn't buy this I didn't buy this new. I don't know if I have to qualify that at this point. So I got it sent to me from eBay. So we'll see what's going on here. But we'll open up the box and we get the phone. We get no books, okay? We get no charger, but in the original case, in the original box, there would have been a charger included, but we get no charger here. So that's all you get, okay? So here's the Verizon LG EnV2, okay? And this phone, here's this. Battery's still in it. Now the battery comes out in the whole back. The back doesn't come off and the battery comes out. The battery just comes out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in, and then we'll come back and we'll do a full tour and we'll take a look at what this phone can do. Hey, thanks guys. Be right back. All right, you guys, so the LG EnV2, let's get into it. So this thing came out March of 2008. It was announced March of 2008. I don't know, guys, recall back to what you guys were doing. So March 2008 was what? 16 years ago. So 2006, I think I graduated high school. So 2008, I think I was working construction and doing whatever. So this phone specifically has a hard time holding a charge. So if it starts to go out, I might plug it in with a cord here. But let's go ahead and do a full tour of the phone, and we'll go through all the menus and we'll see what this thing has, and we'll kind of talk about this thing a little bit, okay? So when you guys first boot it up, you guys see these big keys, all right? So I think at the time, LG was pushing for the older generation of people who were used to making phone calls to start texting, right? Which is why I think you see these big keys on this phone, these big type pad and all of these big keys. I think there was a big push for people to start switching to text messaging or start adding it into their daily routine. So I think they were trying to make this phone kind of more appealing to the casual texter. And basically what this thing did really well is it made calls and texts really well, right? And the other things, everything, it was mid for. So this thing, again, originally announced March 2008, and the original price was $129 after a $50 rebate, or from Best Buy at $50, $49.99 with a 2-year contract. You guys remember those 2-year contracts that they always used to do? So on the inside here is a 2.4-inch display with a 32.45% screen to body ratio, and also a 1.4-inch display out here on the front. Okay, the dimensions are 4.0 by 2.13 by 0.65 of an inch. You guys are gonna have to excuse the cord. I'm trying to do this tour, but this thing has a difficult time holding a charge in my experience. I've been trying to play with it a little bit. I'll try to get this out of the way. So, pretty small phone. It was touted at the time as pretty big, but you know, right? You guys can get how many of these phones here? And I remember, you know what's funny is I'm reading one of the reviews about this phone from back in the day, and it said you're probably going to want to carry it on your hip with the included holster because it's a little bulky to fit in your pocket. Full keyboard, 4.23 ounce of weight of the phone. So to give you guys a comparison, that's the equivalent of 4.23 ounces of weed. 2.5 millimeter headphone jack, 950 milliamp hour removable battery. Everything was removable back in the day. Micro USB charger here. The phone came in 2 colors, black and maroon. And you had a 2 megapixel single camera right here on the back. No selfie camera yet at this time. No selfie camera yet. So over here, when you guys hit it, okay, press OK to unlock. That's the biometrics you have, all right? You hit it and you press OK. Now you're searching for service. And I had a hard time, you guys. I tried to connect this to my computer. I couldn't do anything to get this running on a network. I really wanted to, and it doesn't have its own web browser or Wi-Fi, so I wasn't able to get it connected. But I definitely did try. So on this front screen here, honestly, it's really small, really hard to look at. Again, it's 1.4-inch display, but you have your menu. You've got your contacts, contact list, and new contact. Clear to go back. Got a full pad here, 1 through 0, star and pound, and you've got a dedicated music key here, so you can go open your music, right? And this is Vcast music. Now, Vcast, what it was Verizon was trying to get into the game to give you guys web browsing and all that, and Vcast had, it was basically a $15 a month unlimited service that had 300 plus on-demand video clips. The video clips were from 1 to 5 minutes in length, and they had 4 categories, okay? It was news, entertainment, sports, and weather. And you could also get some games, right, that were suited for it. So it was $15 a month through Verizon. So I think it's easier to go, it probably looks better to go through the screen, through the bigger screen than the front screen. So let's go menu here. And now on this big screen, you guys see you got this big, beautiful menu. The small screen's just kind of dinky and whatever. So here you have my ringtones. You can get new applications. Low beep. Now you have your keys here. Volume keys and a dedicated camera key. This is the only way to get into the camera. And then you've got your micro SD slot here. All right. So menu, press OK here for the menu. My ringtones, low beep ones, low beeps. I got this full loud. This is how we're going to be able to test the music, the sound on this phone. Loud beeps here. Doorbell. Verizon wireless default tone. Come on, baby. Ringtone 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is hot right here. Kind of futuristic tones here. You've got the swamp right here, the pond, chilling by the pond with the frogs. Here you're kind of moving through the city at night back in the 90s. Right here is like a Sade ripoff. A little jazz for you. Yeah, that's horrible snapping. I can't snap at all. A little classy for you, a little classical music. This is some Oriental. You're sitting somewhere meditating. They actually had a lot. They had a lot of ringtones, man. So they had 17 ringtones that were actually kind of music and all that, you know. So they had a bunch of ringtones. So that's my ringtones there. Then you scroll over here to messaging, and you have new message, inbox, your sent messages, your drafts, and your voicemail, and your visual voicemail, mobile instant messaging, if you guys remember that, email. So this thing had email capabilities. It was text-only email, no formatting, and no attachments. And so it was $5 a month for Verizon mobile email. And you had only Yahoo, you had Yahoo Mail, a Gmail, MSN. Those didn't give notifications. Only Yahoo email at the time gave you notifications when you got a new message. Okay, so the rest of the emails, like Gmail services, you had to check manually, go into your email and check for messaging. So now here you can create a text message, right? Hello. New text message to hello. And this keyboard, if you guys remember, I mean, it feels okay to type on even now. You guys remember these back in the day. A lot of the phones had them, you know. When this thing came out, this thing was competing with the likes of the BlackBerry Bold 9000, the iPhone 3G, which was a very capable phone, Nokia E71, BlackBerry Storm, and the HTC Dream, which was the G1, the T-Mobile G1, which was like the first, the Android phone, right? So this thing had some heavy competition in the field when it came out, and honestly, it didn't do too good against the competition because everything this thing did was mid, right? But this thing, I really feel like was trying to push itself to the older generation that was still stuck on phone calls and the older Nokias to try and get them into the texting game. So it did texting and voice calling really, really well, okay? So it's easy to type on, it feels good to type on. It doesn't feel as good as the Blackberries, and honestly, this is the old Wing. And so all these phones had kind of different keyboard layouts back in the day. So this phone, it's easy to type on. Space key down here. What's going on, man? Clear to delete. And then send up here and power to end. So honestly, it's a big spacious keyboard here that you can use, and it feels pretty good to type on. And I'm amazed at some of these other phones that I grabbed from back in the day and how their keyboards, I just, look guys, so this was the biggest stuff out, right? Back when, come on. But look how cramped these keyboards were from back in the day, right? This dash, even though this thing was my favorite thing to type on. This Wing was pretty spacious. I don't think I could afford this back in the day. And this is huge keys on this LG EnV2. And this is so comfortable. You guys see the spacing in between the keys, okay? So that's your messaging, all right? Clear, let's get out of here. Here you have your recent calls, which obviously is your missed, received, dialed, your calls. Contacts, new contact, contact list, your groups, your speed dials in case of emergency, name card. And here's your media center here, which is music and tones. And I don't think we have anything. So like I said, VCast was your on-demand video clips, 300 of them, 1 to 5 minutes in length. And you can't open it now because we can't connect to a network. But this was VCast. This was their service. Sorry, you must have VCast coverage, which was an extra $15 a month. And you can get ringtones. We went through the ringtones here. This is my music here. And you really have none. You got to go in and download it from VCast. My Sounds, Sync Music, Picture and Video, VCast Videos. Again, this was the library of videos. Get new pictures, my pictures. Look at these pictures I took here, you guys. So I couldn't get this on my computer. I was really trying to transfer these. Obviously, I can't upload them to Google Drive or anything from here. But look at these pictures it took. So this was a 2-megapixel single camera. I'll be honest with you, I was actually more impressed than I should have been with these pictures. I don't know if it transfers, but on the screen, they look kind of crisp and they look kind of clear. All right, there's Cash right there, you guys. There's Chelsea. They look really washed out. I mean, obviously, it's a 2-megapixel camera, right? But the thing was capable. It took pictures, all right? So there's your camera. My videos. It took video. Take a picture, record a video. So here you can go in and I'm blocking it was really hard because of how small the phone is. It's really hard not to block the camera with your hand. But you can record your video here. You can take a picture here, whatever you need, right? No, come on, it's hard. I'm still having a hard time getting used to the buttons. I say that as though I'm going to get used to them at all. Mobile web here you had. Network was unavailable. Now the mobile web was It was Verizon's Open Wave WAP browser, which was WAP before what WAP means now. It had a limited collection of mobile-only sites, so you couldn't just go in and just browse the web. All right. So here you had your email, mobile email, and your web email. And again, only Yahoo Mail got notifications, but it was email capable, which was great at $5 a month for email capability. You had VZ Navigator here, which
LG Navigator, a powerful and easy-to-use navigation tool that uses GPS technology to tell you where you are, what's nearby, and to give you directions to where you need to go.
Okay.
LG Navigator provides easy-to-follow, voice-prompted directions right to your destination. Get it today.
So VZ Navigator was a service from Verizon that turns your NV2 into a GPS navigation device with turn-by-turn directions. It had navigation, local search, my places, maps and traffic, movies and events, and messages. The messaging option actually let you send your coordinates, like send your location to your friends and your address to your friends, but only if those friends were on Verizon. All right. So this thing was okay. It was mid at the time, and like I said, it did calls and texts really well, but not a whole lot else. Mobile instant message. This was your instant message. AIM, AOL Instant Messenger, Windows Messenger, Yahoo Mail. So this was your instant messenger. I don't know if you guys remember that. You know, I used to spend a lot of time on it. And here's your settings. All right. My account, network is unavailable. Tools are the voice commands. Calculator, go in here. Here's a simple calculator. Easy tip calculator, which actually I could probably use even today. You guys got a cool little intro when you get in here. Right there. There's your tip calculator. So your total bill is $80. 15% is $12. Kind of handy, kind of cool. All right. Calendar. Your calendar here, January 1980. So here you can go in and you can add an event, options monthly, weekly, monthly. So you can add. Now this screen, just now it saw it move, it pivots, right? So it doesn't have to be locked in the flat position. It can come out here in this position, whatever you want, really. LG EnV is here to serve, here to please. So you can add a new event here. View your events with the OK button. This layout is a little bit confusing here because it has add, view, and options, but really your OK button is the view. So there's your calendar, alarm clock. You can have 3 alarms set time, repeat. Stopwatch, pretty useful. World clock, if you're Mr. Worldwide, you can be in North America, South America, Africa, wherever it is that you need to be, all right? You can set your clock. Notepad here, you can add a note, symbols, boom, boom, add a note, go to the store, I keep wanting to click down here in the middle for space to get flowers, wow, for Chelsea. If I read this later, I won't even be able to know what the hell I wrote. So don't save this note. So that's all your tools right there, notepad and USB mass storage. Your Bluetooth menu, you can add a device to Bluetooth here. Look at that battery just disappearing. I want to be able to get through this. So again, pardon the cord. Sound settings, master volume, call sounds, alert sounds, keypad volume, service alerts, power on and off, voice clarity. Display settings, banner, so you can have a personal banner. Oh. Come on. Haters get smashed. Save, personal banner set, ERI banner. Backlight here, your display, you can have an internal backlight, 7 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, always on, always off. External backlight. See, we get into the settings, there's quite a bit of options in this thing. External backlight is set the time here. Keypad, same thing. Change your wallpaper here, internal wallpaper. You can change fun animations here, space. Look at that, that's cool. Look at that, that's a live wallpaper. 2008, you guys. So we can change it here. Let's go to the menu. External wallpaper, and I can set one of my pictures. Let's go with cache on this one. Whatever I set. I don't think I clicked cache. And here you go. It has a picture right down there, right? Now, obviously this screen is miserable, it's tiny, but in return, you get a huge, huge keypad here. So back in. Wallpaper, internal wallpaper, fun animation, space, and let's go to circle here. That's your circles, wallpaper. Display themes. So you got your charging screen off. You can show your desk clock, calendar, a slideshow on your charging screen. Display themes, slick black, I'm sorry. Look at that. Changes your themes there. Right? Main menu settings, you can have it as a grid, as a list, or as a tab. You can change your font size here, small, dial digits, small, medium, large, menu and list, message. Fairly customizable. Clock format here, and that's the internal screen. Analog, digital, dual. You can set the cities. An external clock on your outside screen, same thing. Phone settings here. Standalone mode will disable all wireless communications. You can set your shortcuts. Set internal directional keys, so you can have shortcuts set for your directional keys. You can set a QWERTY shortcut, and one thing I used to love on these phones is a lot of them you could press a button. You could set a shortcut to your keypad and press a button, and it would access an app or whatever. I used to love that on the, you know what, on the BlackBerry Passport. We'll have to dig into that phone one of these days. So voice commands here, prompts and call alert. You can set your language, English or Espanol. Go to your location. 911 only. Security. Now you can lock your phone. You can have a lock code here. System select. Home only or automatic. Home only. NAM select. Let's leave that at 1. Auto NAM. Fine. Then you got your call settings. Answer options. Flip open. Hello. Flip open answer. One thing I hate is how hard it is to go back into all of these. End call options, flip to close or end key only. Auto retry, so if you fail to dial, auto retry. TTY mode, enabling TTY will disable headset audio. This is for the voice readout. One touch dial. Voice privacy. And tones. USB auto detection here. Sync music, sync data, ask on plug. Memory, you got your save options for pictures, videos, and your sounds. Your phone memory here and your card memory. And you got your phone info. Man, you guys, it's frustrating when you hit a different key. Phone info. So my number here. Ooh. That's someone's number in there. Icon glossary. So there's all your icons that it shows you, so you guys aren't confused. Explains all the icons that it's going to pop up. And software update, you can check for a software update. All right. So now this phone, when it came out, overall this thing moves pretty fast. It doesn't do a whole lot, so it should move pretty quick. And when this thing came out, it got pretty mixed reviews. So CNET had it at 8 out of 10. Phone Arena had it at 8 out of 10. Wired had it at 4 out of 10. PC Mag had it at 3.5 out of 5. So the bottom line is this phone came out, the bottom line is don't get this in 2024. You're not gonna be able to use it. But this phone came out, it had a lot of competition. Again, the iPhone 3G was a big competitor. The BlackBerry Storm was hitting hard, even though that was kind of a failure too. But the HTC Dream, the G1 was an awesome phone that had apps and all kinds of the new Android. So it was hitting pretty hard. So this phone at the time got mixed reviews, and it was kind of a middle of the road phone. But overall, there you go. There's the tour of the phone. It was fully capable for its time and obviously had everything you need. Maybe the browser it was missing. There was better phones out for a little bit more of the price. There was definitely better phones out at the time. But this thing, you know, it had the fun factor that these phones had, the unique factor. Back in the day, these phones had, you know, they slid open, they flipped open. It was all kinds of different stuff. So, you know, Chelsea, there you go. There's the full tour of that phone. And I hope this brings you back some memories, you know, of when you were in school or whatever, whenever you had this phone. And we'll do more of these kinds of phones if you guys like them, and we'll do more of the full tours of these older phones. So this is the LG EnV2, and thanks you guys for tuning in, and we'll have more videos coming up. Thanks.